we realized, wow, that was a testimony in itself. When we came into marriage, we didn't think that that would be a situation where I have left the lifestyle. I walked away from being a lesbian and having attraction towards sin, really, to coming to a place of having it feel so natural because I'm in the law of God, and coming to the understanding of people still asking questions, whether am I truly delivered, questioning my deliverance, questioning whether I'm actually attracted to my husband and how would that work and all this kind of stuff. And so to come to a place where we get married, everything feels fine, and then all of a sudden I'm noticing certain triggers as we're together, and even just in conversation, or whether intimacy is happening, like it's just certain triggers that would rise, where we had to have conversations that I wasn't ready for. Like I felt like I wasn't ready for it. I felt like I thought I was already transparent with the Lord. Like now I have to be transparent with my husband. What does that look like? And I also in the mindset of I don't want to hurt my husband's feelings. I don't want to be I don't want to dishonor him. But there was many things due to not just being in the lifestyle, but also the root of the problem was sexual trauma. And so dealing with sexual trauma and trying to come to the understanding of what does that look like? How can we edify God? How can I be set free from this kind of mindset where I don't see my husband as a predator, but as my lover? Like,
we do a lot of public speaking. We educate and have gone into prisons, schools, colleges, elementary, high school, churches, wherever folks need the education, we're there to give it. And it has been a true blessing because there are always people that need that touch, that gospel touch, that feeling, that knowing, and that educational gift that we've been blessed to be able to give.
Gospel Against AIDS is simply the truth about HIV and AIDS, spreading the gospel. And we have, our goal is and was to go into houses of worship, to stand in the pulpit and chat with the congregation about what HIV is, how it's spread, how not to get it, and if you do have it, how it's treated, and how to live with it and not die from it.
And what the stigmas are and how to deal with the stigma. And stigma is really ignorance, a lack of education, and so we educate, answering any questions. We counsel individually as well as in groups. It's so important because a lot of folks won't ask the questions in public that they will ask in private.
I'm going to say, parents, get on the PTO. We used to call it PTA, whatever they're calling it these days. Get on there, go to your child's school, see what's going on. I had parents at the last district that I worked that were constantly there. And then I had parents I never saw, ever. Parent-teacher conference, go, see what's going on, not just with your child, find out what's going on in that entire school. Talk to your children at home, find out what is really happening. Now, kids really don't want to talk, especially boys. You know, those of us who we're boy moms, we know. But now you can go online and find out everything that teacher, because it's pretty much their lesson plans are online. Almost every district. I know here in Michigan it's like that. Find out what's being taught so that you can overview and kind of scan through some of that stuff and see if that's something that you really want taught to your child. Before I became an educator, I didn't know I had that strong of a voice as a parent. Parents, you have a strong voice. You really do. And once parents band together, they can eliminate some things that are happening in schools that they don't want their child in. I'm a believer. Every child there may not be parents of believers, but you still have a voice, you still have a say so. And especially if you rally together and present, go to the school board meetings. Sometimes I think in the last, I can't even think the last time I saw a parent at a school board meeting. I, I'm sorry, I don't even remember the last time I saw a parent. I saw teachers who were parents in the district at the school board meeting because they knew that their voice could be heard there. But school boards want to hear from parents. They really do. They want to know what the parents think. Parents are large stakeholders. So that would be my advice on that. And I'll give some more, at the seminar, I'll give some more tips and tricks for parents to really understand their voice, because I didn't understand my voice in the school district as a parent until I became an educator.
Wow. That's good.
First of all, I think the very important point for individuals to realize that when you marry somebody that has come out of the lifestyle, you're going to have to learn to do two things very quickly. One, you're going to have to learn to be mature super fast and not just being all up in your feelings and feeling like the person is rejecting you or they don't like you or they don't want you, because most likely that's not the case. They already married you. They already said yes. That's not necessarily the case. You really have to learn to love the person like with a true unconditional love, because that journey can be really rough and can be very challenging, but you can get through it. You just have to be committed and willing. Yeah. And you have to trust God, and the two of you have to be willing to talk to one another. And my spouse, somebody that would be willing to understand, that would be willing to fight to that place of being patient and trying the best that I can to
creating a safe place
for growth. And it was very challenging. And it's gotten a whole lot better. There's still some things here and there that from time to time are challenging, but I'm not naive like I was when we first got married, in thinking, I'll give an example, and it's kind of really, it's a very personal space, but so I thought in my measly little mind that, when I'm cuddling with my wife or whatever, I could cuddle up behind her and be cute and whisper sweet nothings in her ear. Whereas while I thought that was cute, my spouse was not thinking that was cute at all, because that was a trigger for her. So there's some things that I think in the premarital counseling, like if I had to do it different now, the only thing that I would honestly do different is this one thing, and that is the information that we have now, I would love for other people to have, so that you can prepare yourself for what could lie ahead. I'm not going to lie to you and say you're going to come to this conference or that you could participate in something like this, and then all of a sudden you're going to have all the information and it's going to be good. I'd be lying to you. That's not true. It's still going to be your journey and your process to go through with your spouse. But I think if we have these tools and resources to know how to navigate, then we will be less likely to end up in situations where we end up in like a divorce court or whatever.